The Secret Psychology of Women and Love, Stoicism, the Stoic Spirit, Old Stoic Wisdom. A woman is not drawn to a man who speaks to her mind, but to one who awakens something in her soul. Site, component placement unknown. You probably clicked on this without overthinking it. Maybe it was the title, maybe the image. But listen carefully, because what you're about to hear could permanently shift how you see love and how women actually respond to men. Let me ask you something most men never even consider. What if almost everything you've believed about love was wrong? From the time we were boys, we were fed stories. Be the gentleman, have money, make her laugh, be the good guy and she'll love you. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Women don't fall for men the way men fall for women. They're not seduced by your resume, your bank account, or your perfect behavior. They're pulled in by something beneath all that, something primal, silent, and emotional. They're drawn to the energy you carry, the feeling they get when they're around you. It's not about what you say. It's not about being nice. It's about how she feels in your presence. And if you've never learned how to influence that invisible emotional field, you'll keep doing all the right things and still watch her drift away. Not because you're not good enough, but because you're not triggering what pulls her in. Once you understand this, once you learn how to speak to her emotions without words, you stop chasing, you stop pleading, you stop trying to be chosen, you become the man her soul recognizes, the man she feels pulled toward, without logic, without explanation. Most men never discover this. They keep showing up with effort, with reason, with facts, and they keep getting left behind by the women they thought they were doing everything right for. But you're not most men. You're here. And now you'll see things differently. Sign 1. Women don't love you. They love how you make them feel. Here's the truth. Many men, especially the kind-hearted, loyal, and dependable ones, struggle to accept. Women don't fall in love with you in the way you think. It's not your face, your wealth, or even the refined personality you've spent years building. What captivates her heart isn't what you are. It's what you ignite inside her. Love to her isn't a checklist or a resume. It's a whirlwind of sensation. It's how her soul dances when you enter the room, how her body tenses in anticipation, how her mind can't seem to settle after you've gone. You may have thought being the best dressed, the most logical, the most stable man would seal the deal. But if you don't awaken something raw and electric within her, you'll disappear from her mind as quickly as a shadow at sunrise. This is what psychologists call emotional imprinting. But in simple terms, it's the memory of how you made her feel that lasts. Not your words, not your gifts, not your resume of virtues. You could be her rock, faithful, dependable, present. But if another man makes her laugh until tears fall, stirs her curiosity with his unpredictability, or leaves her breathless with his presence, that's the man who visits her dreams at night. Not because he's better, not because he's safer, but because he awakened something untamed inside her. And here lies the injustice. You brought stability. He brought a storm, and she chose the storm. Why? Because the storm made her feel alive. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But the truth is, most men try to win a woman's heart through logic, consistency, and effort, while the men who leave a mark do it through emotional experience. They create tension, playfulness, mystery. They don't chase attention. They command it, often without a single word. Have you ever wondered why some women return to exes who treated them poorly? It's not about him. It's about how he made her feel back then. She's not longing for the man himself. She's chasing a powerful emotional memory. This is why it's crucial to stop trying to convince a woman you're a good man with a list of reasons. That only appeals to the mind. But attraction lives in the body, the gut, the deep recesses of emotion. Start becoming the man who knows how to shape her feelings through presence, silence, energy, and intent. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, Maya Angelou once said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That quote isn't just powerful, it's the foundation of attraction. Real men, stoic men, understand this. They don't become clowns or manipulators. They become masters of their own emotional energy, and that mastery naturally ripples into the hearts of women. If you want to be unforgettable, learn the art of presence. Let your silence speak louder than other men's shouting. Let your subtlety stir more than someone else's grand gestures. And now, I invite you, if this message resonated with something deep inside you, to reflect. What's one emotion a woman made you feel that you've never forgotten? Drop it in the comments, share your truth, and you may discover that many other men have walked the same path. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, where we don't just talk about women, we talk about becoming the man worthy of memory. Sign 2. The more you chase, the less she feels. Old Stoic Wisdom for modern men. Let's talk about a quiet truth most men overlook. Have you ever caught yourself staring at your phone, waiting for a message that never comes? That slow burn of anxiety creeping in, whispering doubts like, did I say something wrong? Or, is she losing interest? That feeling of waiting, hoping, and chasing is something every man has felt at least once. But now, flip the scene. Have you ever met someone who replied instantly, always said yes, and seemed available all the time? Did it excite you? Or did it dull the experience? Be honest. Because here's where ancient Stoic wisdom meets modern reality. Anticipation is the currency of desire. Women are not drawn to what's constantly available. They are drawn to what awakens curiosity. The old Stoics understood this long before dating apps and texting ever existed. Emotional build-up, the rising tension between uncertainty and potential, is where desire brews. When a man is always texting, always showing up, always saying yes too quickly, he unintentionally kills the very mystery that pulls her in. Tension, like a tightly drawn bowstring, creates emotional energy. But when that string goes slack, when she knows you're always there, the excitement vanishes. And without excitement, attraction withers. Let me drop this on you straight. The more you chase a woman, the more you suffocate her desire to chase you. It's not just psychology, it's human instinct. We, as people, do not place deep value on what's easily handed to us. We value what feels earned, what we fear might slip through our fingers. This applies to relationships just as much as it does to rare art, high-stakes opportunities, or hard-won respect. When a woman senses that she fully has you, her mind relaxes, and with that comfort comes emotional neutrality. Curiosity fades, and so does attraction. Not because she's unkind, but because it's how desire operates, fed by mystery, maintained by distance, and tested by time. This is why high-value men, the Stoic men of old and modern times, don't chase. They don't orbit around women hoping for validation. They stand firm in their path, led by purpose. They lead their lives with intention, not desperation. They build rich inner worlds, filled with discipline, ambition, faith, and clarity. And because their lives are already full, they don't beg for company. They invite it. And when a woman shows up, they don't spill everything at once. They let her lean in, ask questions, wonder. They let mystery do what it's always done best, ignite emotion. Because here's another truth. When a woman stops wondering about you, she starts forgetting you. And this is not manipulation. It's magnetism. A Stoic man is not cold. He is composed. He's not distant. He's deliberate. He doesn't withhold love. He simply doesn't pour it all out on someone who hasn't earned the depth of it. He knows that the real power isn't in chasing her approval. It's in cultivating a life that she wants to be part of, not the center of. So if you've ever felt drained chasing someone who barely notices, pause and ask yourself, am I leading or am I chasing? Am I a man of presence or a man of pursuit? True masculine energy doesn't chase, it attracts. Let your discipline, your purpose, your calm silence, be the gravitational force that draws the right woman in. Because the moment you stop trying to prove your worth, you begin to live in it. And if that resonates, go ahead and tap that like button, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and answer this in the comments. Have you ever lost attraction for someone just because they were too available? Sign 3. Women don't want a nice guy. They want a man who cannot be moved. You've been lied to, conditioned, repeatedly told that if you're just nice enough, kind enough, soft enough, agreeable enough, she'll love you. But reality slaps harder than fantasy. Let's get brutally honest. Women don't crave a man who folds. They crave a man who stands, a man who's unshakable. You've heard it. I just want a nice guy. But watch closely. The nice guy gets ignored. The nice guy gets friend-zoned. Why? Because what she says and what she responds to are two different things. What she's really drawn to is strength, but not the loud, aggressive kind. It's the quiet, immovable strength of a stoic man. The one who knows who he is. The one who doesn't flinch. The one who walks into chaos and remains composed. That's the kind of presence that magnetizes a woman on a primal level. Remember this. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. That's from Confucius. And it's the essence of stoic masculinity. A man who conquers his urges, his fears, his need for approval. He becomes rare. He becomes untouchable. Too many men fall into the nice guy trap, thinking being agreeable is the key to love. It's not. It's the fast track to being forgotten. Would you respect a man who never says no? Would you follow someone who fears conflict more than dishonor? Because strength earns respect. Boundaries build desire. Stoic men understand this truth. They don't flinch when tested. They don't explain themselves endlessly. They don't seek permission to exist. A woman will test you, not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. She's searching for certainty in a world full of weak men. And if you fail that test, if you collapse, beg, or panic, she'll know you're not the one. She doesn't need a therapist. She doesn't need another gossip partner. She's searching for a rock, a mountain, a lighthouse that doesn't move when storms hit. You must become that. Become the man who doesn't need validation to breathe. The man who can look her in the eyes and say, no, with calm authority. The man who can walk away, not out of spite, but out of principle. When you become this man, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your aura speaks before you do. And women feel it. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius wrote that. And it still holds. So here's the truth. Niceness is not the currency of attraction. Power is. Calm power. Inner control. Steadfast direction. That's what turns heads. That's what commands attention. That's what makes a woman stay. Not words. Presence. So I challenge you now. Drop the nice guy identity. It's a mask. Burn it. Step into the skin of the stoic man. Be the force that doesn't need applause. Be the presence that doesn't need explanation. She doesn't want someone who worships her. She wants someone she can respect. If this hits you, if you know you've been too soft for too long, then hit like, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and drop this in the comments below. I choose to be unshakable, because the world doesn't reward the agreeable. It rewards the grounded, and it's your time. Sign 4. Love is a game of perception, not reality. One of the most painful truths a man will ever face in love is this. She's not falling in love with you, not the real, unfiltered man you are when the world isn't watching, not your values, not your devotion, and certainly not the sacrifices you quietly make behind the scenes. As noble as it sounds, love is not a reward for kindness or consistency. It's a dance of perception, not reality. What she falls for is not your truth. It's the story she tells herself when she thinks of you. This is not cynicism, it's psychology. What you're facing is known as cognitive projection, a concept where people unconsciously project their desires, fears, and fantasies onto others. And through that lens, they create an image. So when she looks at you, she doesn't see you with clean eyes. She sees a man shaped by her past heartbreaks, her unresolved wounds, her fantasies of what love should feel like, and her silent expectations of how a man should act. That's why you could be everything she once said she wanted. And yet, overnight, she can pull away with the haunting words, "Something just feels off." You didn't change, but her frame did. And in the realm of attraction, frame is everything. Imagine a man who once seemed magnetic to her, mysterious, centered, elusive in a way that stirred curiosity. She couldn't stop thinking about him. But fast forward, and now he's overly available, too predictable, always eager to respond. Suddenly he feels needy, boring even. Nothing about him changed. What shifted was the emotional contrast, from compelling mystery to dull predictability. And here's where many well-meaning men lose the game. They live in logic, while love thrives in narrative. Emotional perception, not reality, is what keeps her heart racing at night. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And in love, this truth becomes dangerous when a man tries to be rational in an emotional battlefield. So here's the real question. Can you shape how she perceives you? The answer is not only yes, you must, but not through endless explanations or rehearsed compliments. You shape her perception through experience, through the unspoken dance of energy and presence. You become the source of emotional contrast, the man who blends certainty with mystery, presence with space, connection with distance, because when she always knows what you'll say, how you'll react, when you'll reply, you rob her of the one thing that keeps desire alive, wonder. And once a woman stops wondering, she stops feeling. It's not manipulation, it's activation. When you create moments that are both grounding and electrifying, you form psychological anchors, emotional highs and lows that bond deeper than any promise ever could. Remember this Stoic truth. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favourable. If you're not intentional about shaping her emotional world, the winds of her perception will toss you aside. Scarcity creates value. Mystery breeds obsession. And presence, earned presence, is what leaves a lasting impression. If you give her everything too soon, you become background noise. But if you guide her experience with depth, energy, truth, and well-placed distance, you become the one she can't forget. Because in love, perception is reality, and he who shapes the frame shapes the feeling of love itself. If this changed how you see relationships, smash that like button, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had a woman lose interest even when you did everything right? Let your experience be a mirror for another man. And remember, Stoic wisdom is not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering them. Sign 5. If she feels safe, she'll never leave. And I'm not talking about safety in the way most men misunderstand it. Not just physical protection or paying the bills. I'm talking about something deeper. Something primal. Emotional safety. See, after all the conversations we've had about attraction, about the spark, the mystery, the chase, this one truth overshadows them all. Women don't stay with the man who excited them the most, or even the man who gave them the biggest emotional high. They stay with the man who gave them emotional certainty, a sense deep in their bones that says, no matter what storm hits, I can trust this man. That kind of presence doesn't shout, it reassures. It doesn't seek attention, it commands it. And here's the key. Women are biologically wired for emotional movement. Their inner world is a tide. It rises, falls, crashes, and sometimes floods without warning. One day she's all in, deeply connected, romantic and warm. The next, she's distant, uncertain, questioning everything. This isn't drama. It's not a test designed to frustrate you. It's her nature. It's how her mind works, how her nervous system is built to respond to the emotional environment around her. And in the middle of that shifting world, she's searching, almost subconsciously, for one thing, a man who doesn't move with the waves, a man who remains still, calm, present. That's where true strength lies, not in raising your voice, not in slamming doors or proving dominance. Those are signs of a man who has lost his inner grip. Real strength, the kind that makes her feel safe, is quiet. It's stoic. It's controlled. It's a man who knows how to feel without being ruled by what he feels. That's the paradox of the strong man. He doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. He simply is. Most men today think emotional strength means bottling everything up, playing it cold, detaching. But that's not strength. It's avoidance. The strongest men don't hide from emotions. They hold space for them. A woman doesn't feel safe with a man who shuts down or avoids her waves. She feels safe with a man who can take it, who doesn't panic when she cries, who doesn't try to fix her feelings or mirror her meltdown, who can stand in the eye of her emotional storm without flinching, without collapsing, and without trying to escape. And make no mistake, she will test you. She'll push, she'll challenge, sometimes in ways that feel unreasonable. But it's not because she wants to break you. It's because, deep down, she's asking one silent question. Can I trust this man with my storms? And when you stay centered, when you meet her fire with calm, her waves with grounded presence, that's when she knows. That's when something shifts in her. That's when she feels it in her bones. This is the man I can lean on. Think for a second about the men women never forget. The ones they write about in journals, the ones they compare every future man to. Those men weren't just attractive, they had presence. Not flashy charm, not money, not bravado, but presence. The ability to stay still in chaos, to breathe in discomfort, to hold space instead of reacting. That is emotional command. That is the magnetic core of what a woman longs for, and most men miss it completely. Because here's where they mess up. They try to solve her feelings like a puzzle. Or worse, they mirror them. She breaks down, you break down. She raises her voice, you raise yours louder. And in that moment, she doesn't feel met. She feels abandoned, emotionally alone. And when she starts feeling alone, even in your presence, that's when she begins to mentally drift, to disconnect. But when you remain grounded, when you refuse to match her chaos but still remain connected, when you breathe through the tension and respond with calm authority, you become something rare in her world. You become her anchor. And that's the moment everything changes. That's when she lets her guard down, not because she's weak, but because she finally feels safe enough to rest in your presence. That's when she bonds. That's when she stays. Because the women who stay, who love fully, remain faithful, build deep connection, they're not the ones who fell for a perfect man. They're the ones who found a man who made them feel safe in a way no one else could. So if you're wondering what keeps a woman coming back, what makes her choose you over and over again, it's not just how exciting you are in your best moments. It's how steady you are in her worst. That's what separates men who attract from boys who chase. Be the calm in her storm. Be the man who doesn't get moved by every mood swing. Be the one she can trust, not just with her body or her time, but with her heart. If this message truly spoke to something inside you, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the Stoicism Win, and drop a comment below. Tell me this, what does emotional safety mean to you? And have you ever been that steady anchor for someone when they needed it most? Remember this, my friend. Being strong doesn't mean being cold. It means being calm under pressure. Being a man of your word. A man who doesn't chase love, but stands tall so love chooses him. Keep walking the path of the Stoic. Keep mastering yourself. And most of all, stay unshakable. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next video.